Hey y'all, so in another video I mentioned that I had a small but growing vintage pattern collection and I asked you all if you wanted to see it. You said yes, so here we go. I don't have a lot, but the ones I do have, I think they're beautiful, so I don't mind sharing them with you. So I have them roughly organized by decade, but I can say overall my vintage pattern collection consists of mostly the early 1950s up until the 1970s. Some of these are true vintage and some of them are reproduction, and then two of them I actually don't have the physical patterns. I only have the PDFs, so I'll just pop them on the screen when we get to those. I should also add that most of my patterns are not my size, but I can resize them and grade them appropriately to be my size, which is kind of consistent, I believe, with vintage patterns, that they're a bit smaller. So the first one I have is this Butterick 2626. I actually have seen this one made online. I tried to look them all up before I buy them to see if anyone's made them so I can get any insight into them. Not the case with all of these, but this one has been made. It's a shirt dress. It has a pretty simple skirt that has pleats or gathers on the side, and then it comes with three views. One is a long sleeve view, and the other one is a cuffed, about like elbow length sleeve, and then just a regular short sleeve. One thing I've noticed with all my vintage patterns though is very few pieces. The instructions vary. Some of them teach you how to sew and some of them are just very bare bones and assume you know how to sew. This one is actually pretty good and does teach you how to sew. Alright, so next up we have, this is a reproduction vintage from Lady Marlowe. Lady Marlowe is really great about, she does sell actual vintage patterns, but she also takes the time to grade them and scan them and then sells them on Etsy and on her website. So I have a few Lady Marlowe ones. This one is a jumpsuit, even though I think they call it lounging pajamas, if I'm correct. Yeah, lounging pajamas with a matching jacket. Haven't made this one either, but I actually do plan on making this one this year because I have an event that does require me to be a little bit glamorous. I cannot wait to tell you all about that. Like, you have no idea. So I'm going to make it this year, and if it works out, I can also wear it to a wedding next year. I haven't decided if I'm going to make the matching jacket yet, but I think the time of year, I think I might. It's a lot of fabric, which is where my hesitancy comes in. There's that one. Still going with Lady Marlowe. You all had actually seen me make this one. This was the first vintage pattern I ever made. This is, I think this is a Vogue 2733, if I recall correctly when I tried to do the research. Really cute little wiggle dress that you all saw me make. And then it also comes with a circle skirt version. I enjoyed making this pattern. I'm not going to talk about it too much because there's a whole video on it. But things I do need to change for the next go around. I think I said that I want to take out the side zipper and somehow make it a back zipper. And then I do think I need to bring the shoulders in a little bit because I think they're like on the cusp of falling off. Overall, this was a really good fitting pattern and I definitely would make this again. I'm going to stick with Lady Marlowe since I have them here. So this is I don't remember what pattern company this is, but it's 7862. It is an evening gown, as you can see. Now, this is actually what I was going to wear instead of the ball gown I made last year for those weddings I went to. I was going to make this instead. I don't know how I feel about this pattern now because I've actually seen it made a couple times. Lady Marlowe is not on Instagram, but if you dig, you can find her patterns already made. And I don't know if I like this one still. Like, it is pretty, and I've seen people make it as a wedding dress or an evening gown. I think it just depends on the fabric. I see them make it with stiffer fabrics, and I think in my mind, I want to see it with something a little lighter. I don't know, because the event I'm going to, I could wear this as well. But we'll see. I don't know. If I do give this up, I'll let you all know. And maybe you can give me ideas in the comments about what to do with patterns I don't like anymore. All right, sticking with the 50s, I think this is one of the first vintage patterns I bought, as well as that shirt dress. This is a Women's Day, where are the numbers? 5072 is a 4-piece set. I have seen this floating along the internet somewhere. It is a skirt, a romper, and then I think an over jacket as well. I haven't made it yet, but I really like the idea of a romper with a little overskirt, so you can go from the beach to, I don't know, lunch, picnic, whatever. That's what the person did who made it too. So I thought this was really cute. I picked this one up. I thought it'd be good for a vacation. And then also by Women's Day, I have, this is a wrap dress, a 5049. It's this one. It just kind of wraps around the front. I don't think it's a full wrap dress. No, it's not. I can tell by the back. I think it only has 2 views with the arms. Yeah, it looks like it. But this is actually quite a few pieces for a vintage pattern. This one's 13 pieces, but I think it's really cute. So this one really emphasizes the 50s silhouette where they kind of nip in your waist. That's where the wrap is happening, but it's not an actual wrap dress if we would think of in modern times with DBF. Just kind of emphasizes that hourglass figure. This one, I think I bought because I was thinking about making it to go to work in, like when I used to go into the office. And so that was my idea, especially the fabrics it suggests you make it out of. But now I'm just kind of tempted because I've never seen anyone make this and I just want to know what it looks like. I know they have the pictures, but I want to see in real life. And then if you saw my last video, you've actually seen these already, but just in case you didn't, this one is a top. It is the Women's Day 5002, also early 50s. And it just has the top with 3 views. And one has a yoke, different button options. I think one has pleats too. Yeah, one does have pleats. Oh, no. Yeah, 3 views. One does have pleats. But I do want to make some blouses this year because I have decided that I cannot find a proper, I cannot find a proper button-up blouse that I really like. So I'm going to make one of those. I also would like to make some feminine dresses, like, I don't know, maybe out of a silk charmeuse or something. Maybe a chiffon. We'll see. And then I think this is my last Women's Day one. It is Women's Day 5062, and it is a dress with 4 views and multiple neckline and sleeve options. Also would be really great for office appropriate or just like a daytime event you need to look nice for. So it's got a pencil skirt, longer sleeves, or you can do short sleeves. And it's got different options for necklines with collars or without. Okay, we're going to stick with the 50s and 60s, then we'll go to the 70s. So this one just reminds me of Audrey when I look at it. It's a Vogue basic dress. So you have 5 views. You can do just a regular sheath dress or one with an A-line skirt. I have seen this on the internet. Someone made it. She did view E, which is the A-line skirt and a sleeveless bodice. This one also does have very good instruction on the inside to teach you how to modify the pattern for your body. So things like if you need to narrow the shoulder, if you need to make the waist larger or bigger, or how to adjust the bust. This one's really good for that because it teaches you how, and I've never seen that with any of the patterns. So this kind of assumes that you're a beginner sewist. I want to do a little mix and mash, but I want to do the button-up bodice with the A-line skirt as well as the collar, and then the one without the collar as well. Okay, and then this one, also one of my newer ones, is a Lanvin a Lanvin Vogue Paris original. So I decided to look into the origin of where these came from because there's a lot of designer patterns that fall under this brand, and apparently because there were so many home sewists, that people would go to Paris, watch the shows, and then want to make the clothes at home, which makes sense. But then sometimes the Americans would just like take very detailed notes and steal the pattern designs and come and make them here for our department stores like Macy's and stuff. So they introduced this line of patterns, and they were so sophisticated with the techniques of how to sew them that people actually had to host classes in order to teach the home sewists the couture techniques necessary to make them. So that's where this all came from. That's why you have like the Dior patterns, Oscar de la Renta, like Calvin Klein, all of that, and then this Lanvin one. So this one is a coat, and it also has a matching skirt, and this 2-piece is actually a romper. I'm interested in making the coat. I don't care if I live in Texas. I still like my coats. Okay, let's get into the 60s, 70s. Let me pull these over here. I'm lying. I think this is the first vintage pattern I ever bought. I think it has to be. Yeah. So this one is the McCall's 9461. I just thought this was so fun because it's got these, like, you can tell we're going into the 70s. It's 1968 is when it came out. It's got these fun sheer sleeves. It's got this long maxi skirt if you want, or it's just like a playful party dress. And you can make a matching belt if you want. I just thought it was so cool. Next up, we're in the 70s now. We have this basic fit and flare dress. Comes with a long sleeve or short sleeve. It is McCall's $29.75, a pound thinner. So apparently they came out with a series of patterns that depending on the fabric, they had like a little card on the inside, and this one does have it. Depending on the fabric, it taught you what would make you look longer and leaner or wider and whatnot. I completely don't agree with that thought process. I mean, I understand it, but like actually putting it on the pattern, we've come so far. We haven't, but then we have come so far. So anyway, this just has 2 views, and it, I think I actually did mock this up. I have mocked this up. I need to do some tweaking to the waistline, to the hip line. But just 3 views, one's long sleeve, and then one with tie, and then one with trim. And so this, I would say, is actually a pretty beginner pattern if you know how to modify things for your shape. Under a similar fashion, and you might say, Chann, is that not the same dress? It's very similar, okay? It is a very easy Vogue 80-12, also a fit and flare dress. The pattern pieces are different on this one, but it's the same concept. I just really like this silhouette, and I have no shame in it. I will not buy any more patterns that look like this. I will say that. I will stick to these patterns. But yeah, I just like a simple fit and flare dress that's short sleeves. You could dress it up or down depending on the fabric you use. And so my plan is I want to make some throw on and go dresses. And so that's what I want to do for these 2 patterns. And I'll see which one I like more. Okay, this one, a Butterick 6667. It has 2 views. 3 views. 2 different sleeve options. It's just a long shirt dress, and again, throw on and go with a mandarin collar, I believe. Yep. And then it has a 2-piece, which is a shirt and a skirt that has the same silhouette. This is also apparently very easy to make. It says fast and easy, time-saving shortcut. We'll see. This one's already pre-cut, and a couple of other these were already cut out as well. Normally I would trace my vintage patterns, but if they're already cut and it's my size, I'm just going to work with that. And then I like to trace of the piece that I'm modifying, so I don't mess with the actual piece of paper. So this one, I did like look at it, and it seems pretty easy and straightforward. So I just want to make another throw on and go dress out of this one as well. And last but not least of my pre-printed patterns, another pound thinner one. This is a 2-piece set. I actually already have the fabric for this because I want to make it. And it is the McCaw's 2819. This one's from the 70s too. Yeah, 1971. So you can have the tunic with the shorts, and it has little slits in the front that you can add trim to, or you can have the longer tunic that's actually shorter with long sleeves and pants. I plan on making the shorts version, thinking about doing some contrasting piping and trim. We'll talk about that when I get to it. But also apparently a very easy pattern. I looked through it. It's literally just princess seams and very easy shorts to put together. So says it'll be a quick sew. We'll see. I have not seen this one on the wild. And then my last 2 PDFs, I actually have to look up because I don't remember what they are. Hold on. Now let's say these last 2 are reissues, I guess is the best way to put them. They just came out. The silhouettes are very similar, but I don't know how to draft this silhouette. So now that I own these 2 patterns, I think I can take it from here. But I just needed some options. So the first one is Butterick 6992. It comes with a long sleeve and a sleeveless version. It's just a halter neck style with a cute little collar and a button up back. And then I think it's an A-line skirt more than a circle skirt. Don't know. Honestly, let me just say, this just came out, so I haven't made it yet. But let me just say that I will probably never buy a Simplicity pattern PDF again, just because of how many pages it is and how poorly the A0s are laid out. Like, they're just not made for good space saving. They just threw it on there. But I do have the patterns now, so now I can make it work. But I just wanted a vintage halter style neck pattern. So there's that one. And then it's a reissue, by the way, so it does have the vintage instructions in it. And then the last one is Simplicity 9913, also a halter neck, but just has a button in the front and then a cute little collar on the front too. First one's more of a Peter Pan collar, and this one's just a regular shirt collar. So now I have my halter neck designs, and I can take it from there, but I just don't know how to draft a halter neck, which is why. And all my books back there, they don't have any great instructions on how to do it either. So now I have it, so that I can take it from there and make them. Oh, and before you say, why didn't you check the store? I did call my stores to see if they had these patterns, and they said, no, we do not. So I had to buy them online. That is my vintage pattern collection. It's pretty small. Well, it's less than 20. So I do want to actually start making these because I don't want to just collect them. And I try, my rule is that if I love it, then I will buy it. And a lot of times I like vintage patterns for evening wear. So that's normally where I look first, just because I have an hourglass silhouette and I find the vintage patterns flatter that more. And two, it's a bit more unique. And I'm not going to see someone in a dress similar, or a dress or jumpsuit similar to mine. That is my collection. Hope you like this video. Tell me your thoughts down below, and I'll see you in my next one.